Hello.
Hello.
Friday. How are you?
I'm well, Ewan. How are you?
Doing good. Happy Speakeasy Day. Shall we
Happy
get
Speakeasy
started and
Day.
open those speakeasy doors, Cassandra?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Welcome to Sparks Squared Speakeasy, the leadership conversation you weren't meant to overhear. No slides, no scripts, no corporate nonsense. This is the Smart Pub Chat that meets leadership therapy, where we talk about what leadership actually looks like when things get uncomfortable, messy, or real. I am Ewan. I'm from the Bright Spark Group, and I'm here with the fabulous, inimitable Cassandra Sparks. So pull up a chair, grab your drink of whatever makes you happy, and let's get into it. All righty. Speakeasy doors are officially open.
Yay.
Welcome, Cassandra.
Oh, thank you so much.
Last week we set a leadership challenge, so we always like to start our little Friday speakeasies off with that recap. And our
Mhm.
challenge last week was do one thing that brings your words and actions back into alignment. Would you like to go first and share yours? What do you get up to?
Cer- Certainly. When I think of credibility and alignment, sometimes my mind goes to things that I'm not doing. So, something that I was putting off that I was dreading was just having to adult really hard. I've been battling with some health insurance stuff. As a solopreneur, it's up to me to, excuse me, pardon me. As a
Oh,
solopreneur, I know it's up to me to, of course, get the health insurance and navigate the marketplace and do all that. And it's just been a struggle for like several months. And there was an issue that I'd been putting off dealing with that I confronted and managed yesterday. So that felt good to get
good for
that
you.
done, that adulting off my plate.
Adulting is sometimes hard. That's the biggest challenge about being an adult is the adulting that goes along with it. Well done.
Mm-hmm.
Managed to tick that big thing off your list.
Thank
Um,
you.
well, I did a little bit of alignment this week because I've been working with the fabulous Laura here at the Bright Spark Group, and we've been working on our technology and our dashboards and all of that fun stuff. And I think that it made me realize in 2026, when there's so much that's kind of hitting you as a business owner and as a leader, that sometimes your words and actions start to misalign just because of the sheer volume of all those
Mm-hmm.
things. So I did that by using the technology that we use, our project management collaboration system, to kind of build dashboards and with the help of Laura to help us all align ourselves and work out what are the things that we actually have been putting off, like you, that we need to get
Right.
done off the list. So that was what I
Yes.
did. That
That's
was my
really
alignment.
wonderful. How did it feel?
Oh, it feels great. And do you know what I love about using technology? We use a software called ClickUp, which I think is actually
Hmm.
really cool and
Hmm.
so useful because it allows you to visualize everything. But what it felt was I felt clarity for myself as a leader, but I also felt clarity for my team as well because now everybody knows what the priorities are and what they should be working on, and there's no sort of big question marks over am I doing the right thing or am I tackling the right task. So yeah,
Hmm.
felt
That's
good.
beautiful. Good for
Yeah.
you. That's
Well,
amazing.
at the end of this episode, as
Hmm.
always, we will pose this week's Friday Courage Challenge. So stick around for that, everybody. We have got a good 30 minutes of maybe 25 minutes of good old leadership pub chat to go before we get there.
We do. And today we are talking about how to say no.
Oh, it's a good one.
I know. No
Right.
is such an important word, and we tend to underutilize it. And as leaders, we are busy. No is an important word for us to use and have comfortability when we use it. So, the
Yeah.
first thing I think let's chat about is delegation. if you have the ability to delegate your work,
Mhm.
let's say you're, not a solopreneur, right? You have the ability to delegate your work out. That's not laziness. Delegation is actually leadership. I think
Agreed.
one reason that leaders struggle to say no is because they think they have to just like do everything themselves. That's what makes them so great. That's what makes them powerful. And either that pressure comes from themselves or that pressure comes from other people. But doing everything isn't impressive. It's exhausting and it's unsustainable.
Right. Absolutely. I've genuinely, as a leader and as a business owner, like viscerally feel this, especially as
Mm,
my team's outgrowing, and I feel like I'm going from that space of being a solopreneur to being an employer with a team.
yes.
And that is it's a hard transition for any leader. And I've gone through that transition as a leader in a workplace before, but the fear of letting go and the perception that might present to other people, of being lazy or not being hardworking or not
Hmm.
being committed or dedicated to the task. That really, whew, it feels the feels for me. It's something that I've always struggled with. I'm a doer, and I feel like I want to put my energy into everything as a leader.
Hmm.
So when I have to delegate, or when I choose to delegate, I really have to brace myself emotionally for
Hmm.
that. I
Hmm.
like know that this is going to be something I'm going to have to put my energy into and really focus on doing.
Hmm.
But it does happen. I think as a leader, I don't know how you feel about this, but in your experience, but I feel like as a leader, it's a skill that you learn over time, right?
Yes,
Not
absolutely.
as avoid.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think it takes a great level of self-awareness, what you just
Mm,
described, to say, I know I need to kind of dial in on this and I know what I'm feeling is uncomfortable and that's okay. That's
right.
amazing. There's a level
Yeah.
of control that we let go when we delegate. And most people like to feel in control of their life, work life, whatever kind
Guilty.
of life. Ditto.
More,
Yeah.
more than I think most of the people around me would like me to admit. But yes, it's very true. I may or may not be a self-confessed control freak.
And
I'm
I think,
working through it.
yeah, well, I think I can like pinpoint that back to group projects in school.
Right.
And as a natural leader, being the young woman or the young girl who is taking control of the group and leading it along and filling in gaps where needed, right? So that idea of needing to have control, I think, is pretty deep seated and it starts early on.
I couldn't agree more. I remember I tell people I started working when I was 13, but actually
Right.
I was speaking to my parents recently, and they reminded me that actually that wasn't technically true, because I remember, when I was 10 years old, I used to go down on a Saturday morning to my uncle. He owned a picture frame or art gallery. I used to go down there in the mornings, on a Saturday as a little boy, and I would cycle down, and I would
Mhm.
go and I'd help wrap all the presents, or the presents, all the pictures that he'd framed
Mhm.
for the customers, and then I would call the customers and say that their picture was ready. So that technically was my
Oh,
first job. But I remember going to the sort of the delegation and control. My uncle
yes.
was very good at delegating because he had this little 10-year-old child labor there to be able to. There was times where I know for a fact that my uncle would definitely, there's no way in this world that he hadn't been out to the pub the night before. And he knew on a Saturday he could rely on me getting down there first thing in the morning on my wee bike. And there was times where he would just hang the key out of the window and just let me open up the shop. And I think that that was the first moment in my life where I was like, oh, responsibility. This feels good. I like this feeling. Ego stroke, ego stroke. So I blame him for going to the pub on Friday night and
Yeah,
relying
yeah.
on me to open up his shop every Saturday morning. That's where my control freakery came from.
Control freakery. That's nice. I like that. You've told me several stories about your uncle, and every story I hear, I like him more. Like he is
Right.
just,
He's a very hard person not to like. Yeah.
he's just great. Uh, so I like also, right? Ego stroke. That made me think about. being a leader is pretty great. There's a
Yeah.
lot of perks to it. And I think there's an inherent ego stroke that comes with being a leader, and that comes with having all the power and doing all the things, except for when the things start to tip the scales into the other side of just being overwhelmed and feeling completely frazzled and not being able to do anything well.
Mhm.
Because that's what happens, right? We get overwhelmed. We start to do a little bit of everything just kind of well, instead of doing one thing or a couple things amazingly.
Right. I think that that is something that every leader has to recognize their strengths and know that they're not always the best person for this job.
Mm-hmm.
And having
Mm-hmm.
people around them and being intentional in that as well, I think is important. Being intentional about the people that you have around you to support you. I am so blessed and lucky to have people like you and my fabulous partners that partner with the Bright Spark group, because I know there are things I'm not good at. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I am open about the fact that numbers are not my thing. I'm allergic to nuts and numbers. That's the two things I can't. And I have to have good people around me for the numbers side of the business running the thing, right? And I think
Mm-hmm.
if every leader takes a step back and says, no, this isn't a task I'm going to be successful at or
Mm-hmm.
be filled with positivity and joy with, but I do
Mm-hmm.
know someone for the job.
That's
And
right.
being able to pass that off is such an important skill for leaders.
Yes, absolutely. Because delegation is not avoidance. It's
No,
providing clarity about where your energy is most valuable.
yeah, 100%.
So let's provide some language, some ideas that folks can use to help them delegate, to help us as leaders delegate. A phrase that I have used before is, and you kind of alluded to this, Ewan, is I am not the best person for this.
Love that one. Yes.
Because like you, I am allergic to numbers
Yes.
similarly.
And yet we
Mhm.
both find ourselves in the position of business ownership,
Here we are. Here we
living our
are.
dream.
It's just sparking and sparkling.
Sparkling, sparkling. Luckily, sparks don't require numbers, so we can
Thank
just use our
goodness.
effervescent for that
Yay.
instead. Natural born effort. I like that. That's great.
Mhm.
I really love that turn of phrase. Do you know one? We're at the Bright Spark group. We are all about making sure we get rid of the corporate jargon and the corporate BS out of our language.
Mhm.
One that I always used to cringe at, and I know we're giving people the ones that they should use, but just one to avoid is always, I don't think that's in my wheelhouse.
Mm.
I hate that phrase. Like, why? What's a wheelhouse in 2026? Do you have one? Is it a house full of wheels? Like, what is the picture you're trying to paint for me here? I just find that really hard. Why are you? What are you
Mhm.
actually saying? What you're saying is this isn't a skill
Mhm.
that I possess, but I know the right person for you. So, to give an alternative to, I don't think
Mhm.
that's in my wheelhouse. I'm going to bring one from the service world that I think every service professional is good at doing, which is saying, I don't know the answer to that question, but let me find you someone who does. And I think that that's
Oh,
such a
yes.
positive way of saying, I'm human, I don't know the answer, but I'm going to help you and I'm going to support you and I'm going to get you to the right person.
Mhm. That's wonderful. I really like that.
Any others that you would suggest?
Mm. No, I would say if I could, to the service-based one you just offered,
Hmm.
say it again.
Um, I don't know the answer, but let me find you someone who does.
So good. The only tweak I would suggest to that is I don't know the answer, and let's find someone who does instead of
Love that.
but. Because
Nice.
and
Move.
connects the two phrases, then it's more positive.
Hmm.
It
Love
paints you
that.
as a more positive light as the speaker and the leader. And whereas but cancels out the first part of that. So I would say it, I don't know the answer to that. And let's find the person that does.
Love that approach. That is a great build. Well done. Nice. Very good.
Thank
Totally on board.
you. Thank you. So
That's why we have
delegation is not, yeah, it's not dropping the ball. It's placing the ball into the right hands.
right. Absolutely. And not into the
Yeah.
right wheelhouse, whatever the hell that
No
means.
wheelhouses. The right
No
hands, not the
wheelhouse.
right wheel.
I love that. I think that the way that we communicate and the way that we work on our language and the way that we pitch the no is so important. Because strong communicators don't just manage tasks, they're really managing their focus, they're managing what am I spending my time on? And am I doing that intentionally? I think that's a really important thing for strong communicators, ergo strong leaders, to be able to really master that skill.
I couldn't agree more. I absolutely agree with you. And while we're talking about strong communicators, this leads me to one of my favorite phrases. No is a complete sentence.
Oh, okay. You have to share more with me. I love this.
Absolutely. No. That's it. That's the sentence. There's no footnotes. There's no PowerPoint slides. There's no 10-minute TED talk about why you can't make brunch. We tend to over-explain when we use the word no, and it's often not necessary. And sometimes people just don't care why you can't, if we're being honest. So if it's not necessary and there's not a need for it and people don't care, why are we doing it? We're doing it because I think as a society, we've been told that to say no means you're failing or you're doing something wrong or you're letting someone down. I posit that saying no actually is empowering to yourself because we only have a finite amount of energy and time in any given day. And if we keep saying yes to everything, we deplete before our morning coffee is even, finished brewing or even finished drinking. So there's a couple different ways that we can say no. And I think that you have some pretty good examples to share. And I know I've got some that I like to use. What do you got?
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more there. I think that this concept of no as a complete sentence is just so genius. I think it reframes, just to pick up on that, like it reframes the guilt attached to saying no. And if you really dig deep and think about where that stems from as an individual, it'll be different for everybody. But I think it does stem from personal life for most people. The guilt trip, whoever it is that's in your life that likes to throw that guilt trip out there. I do think that you've got to reframe the no as it not almost closing a door, but it's opening a window that allows you to be able to go and do another task because you said no to that thing intentionally. And I think that if we said no more often and we did it with more courage and more confidence, without having to excuse it or give a rationale behind it, I think we'd all feel freer, feel less of a sense of obligation. I certainly think that I am trying harder to say no to things that I either don't fill my cup or they just are things that I physically cannot do. And I know that by saying yes to it, I would end up losing focus in another area of my work or my life or my whatever is going on that day. So one way that I approach that is I almost get ahead of the curve. If I can see it coming, I will just throw out there a reason why the no is coming. So if I can tell that there's an invite to brunch coming and I know that I'm not going to be able to make it for whatever reason, not because I don't want to go to the brunch perhaps, but because I just can't physically fit everything in that day, I like to just kind of plant the seed conversationally beforehand. in the how are you doing, how's life, just so that that person doesn't feel like it's a personal attack on them, and then it softens the no later on down the track.
Mhm.
But then
Mhm.
I'm with you. I don't then over explain or over excuse myself. I'm just matter of fact about it. I wish I could do
Mhm.
that. I can't fit it in, or I wish I could do that, but I have all other plans.
Mhm.
And the planting the seed is my strategy.
That's very savvy. I like
Thank you.
that.
What's your strategy?
Mhm.
How do you say the no?
I tend to just say it. And so let's say someone invites me out and I'm not up for it. I'd say, thank you so much for thinking of me. No, I won't be coming out tonight. That's it.
Nice.
They don't need to know
And can I ask
why.
you a question?
Hmm.
How do you feel for someone like me where I feel like that would be really hard for me still to do that?
Hmm.
Uh, how do you feel after that? Like what does that give you when you just use the no as a sentence?
It makes me feel like, in talking about control, it makes me feel like I have control, right? Like I have control of the narrative because I didn't over explain. I didn't make an excuse. I didn't say, um, you know, my cat's sick, or I'm knee deep, or up to my eyeballs in seasons of reality TV and I'm like super invested, right? Whatever the reason is.
You're real. I just can't come out. Traitors is too much.
Yeah. Um, that it's my narrative to tell. So by just saying, thank you very much, I won't be able to make it. That's me just keeping that boundary.
Yeah.
So I feel
Yeah.
empowered when I do it.
Well, well done. Because I would, full disclosure, not feel comfortable in myself being able to do that. And I don't think that
Mhm.
that's something that I'm far away from being able to do. I think
Mhm.
I definitely am on a journey towards being more comfortable doing that.
Mhm.
So thank you for sharing how you feel afterwards. 'Cause I think that that really does help to reframe it in my head that
Mhm.
that control of my life, of my time is good. Yeah, it's a
That's
good
right.
thing, that
That's
control.
right.
Nice.
Absolutely. So I
So,
think when I think about no, I think about it being powerful, polite,
mhm,
and enough.
right.
No is
I think,
powerful, no is polite, and no is enough.
and let's be real,
Hmm.
just like that sort of door opening, door closing, window opening thing, it really does, like you say, leave room for a yes, right?
It
That's going to be
does.
far more fun. I just think that's a great way of positioning it in my head. Thank you so much
Hmm.
for kind of defining that for me in my mind.
Of course. Yes. And thank you for the savvy strategies.
Well, I mean, I think that saying no straight off the bat feels definitely far more direct. I really
Hmm.
like that concept of there is no reason to over rationalize it. That
Hmm.
no can be a complete sentence. I like that.
Hmm.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit then, or take this a little bit further. So people need things from us all day long. I don't know about you, being a solopreneur, but I feel like I'm constantly in a state of just being pulled in every direction. And it can be, I think, well, it can be like, let's be realistic about this. It can sometimes be a bit frustrating and irritable. You can get a
Hmm.
little bit irritable by it, and you're just like, oh my gosh, leave me alone. Like, I just need 15 minutes of my own thoughts in a
Hmm.
padded cell, room, office, I mean office. So constant sense of it being interrupted and being stopped and having your flow diverted can be a lot, and it can be a real energy drain. Do you get that feeling sometimes as well?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because whether it's a ping of a notification, which are incessant or can be incessant, or
Mhm.
it's a knock on the door, or somebody needs it's constant, and I'm glad that we have technology because it does keep us connected. And I know for me, if I don't put my do not disturb on when I'm doing certain things or at a certain time of day, I know that I will get derailed really quickly.
Right.
Because no one's knocking on my door as a solopreneur. People knock on my door metaphorically through text and email and phone calls. So my door is my phone and my computer, and being able to say, give me a minute.
Do not disturb sign.
Do not disturb. Yeah, do not disturb is my friend, for sure. Because, there's nothing, I think, like you said, more frustrating when you're in a flow and, the ideas are coming and you're really moving and grooving on something, and then the ping or the knock happens and you're interrupted. So I have this idea, that I would love for us to share. That you and I've talked this through before, so I know it's not new for you, but the 3 A's. We can use the 3 A's to prioritize our time.
Love this.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So the 3 A's: acknowledge, ask, and assure. All right.
I love that.
So, Ewan, you're going to interrupt me. Let's role play this.
Oh, I love it. Oh my goodness. This is like, oh, I listen to a podcast and he's always doing, let's role play this. Katy Kay and Anthony Scaramucci.
Oh,
they do this. And Anthony Scaramucci always says to Katy Kay, let's role play this, Katy. I love it. Cassandra. Let's role play this, Cassandra.
let's role play this. So I'm working and you come in and give me a knock on the door.
Okay, you ready? I'm not going to do it on my microphone because it'll probably blow the ears off of everybody. I'll go.
Oh, hi, Ewan. What's up?
Oh, hi, Cassandra. I just needed your attention for a second. I've got a question for you.
Oh, okay. I want to help you, and I'm right in the middle of a project.
Okay. Y'all got a little time? Little time for me?
Well, I ask you this. Is this a now issue or is this a later issue?
It's I'd like to get this off my to-do list, but maybe it could wait for a couple of hours issue.
Okay, so to me that sounds like a later issue. If in that case, thanks for understanding. I will come and see you as soon as I finish this task. Can you give me 30 minutes?
Ooh. Yeah, I can do that. Because it's you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. I'm going to jump back into this, Ewan, and I'll come see you in 30 minutes. If I'm going to be late, I'll let you know.
Amazing. Thanks.
Okay. Of course. That's great.
The door of your office shutting. Oh, I love that. Okay, let's run through it. Let's just break it down. Let's just go through each of the 3 A's. So acknowledge was you saying to me, I really do want to help you, but here's the reality. Right?
That's right. That's right.
Fantastic.
And the ask, the key, that's huge, right? So that's the acknowledge. The ask is key. And it's simple. Is this a now issue or a later issue? And it encourages the person asking you for this favor or the help to really think about the priority of it. Is something, metaphorically on fire, or is it something that we can handle in a short amount, in a little while?
Right.
Again, coming back to technology, we're so conditioned for immediacy. And sometimes that is warranted. Other times it's, I think, false immediacy where it's not an emergency. So that question, is this a now issue or a later issue, is powerful.
Right.
And it really empowers the other person to think it through.
Well, that's the thing. And I do think that there's that sense of like giving people the empowerment and the autonomy to handle problems and challenges for themselves. And sometimes in my experience, having done something similar like this with my teams in the past, it's given them the opportunity and the space to walk away and go, oh, actually, if I know they're going to come back in 30 minutes, for example,
Mm-hmm.
let me just take another stab at this myself. So when they do
Mm-hmm.
come back in 30 minutes, maybe I'll actually have the answer or have a solution as opposed to just jumping straight into asking the question and hoping that someone will fix my problems for me.
Exactly. Exactly. When we give folks time, if it's a later issue and we give folks time, they'll likely, like you said, percolate, come up with some solutions. And then by the time the leader goes into that conversation, they'll be 6 steps ahead already. And it will be
Right.
resolved faster in the end.
100%. I do think that there is that strategy of giving people breathing space is
Mm-hmm.
just such a great tool that every leader should just try once. I, I
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give you 30 minutes because I really need to finish this task off. I will be there in 30 minutes for you. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe we can have that conversation and hopefully they'll have come up with, if not the solution, certainly closer to the solution than they perhaps were when they knocked on your door.
That's right. And maybe they're not as like emotional about it too. They're not feeling as like nervous about it or as
Yeah.
just pricked by it, because they've had time to breathe, like you said. So that's
Right.
the assure. That's the assure bit. Thank you for understanding. I'll come see you, give them a general timeline, when I finish this. And then if I'm going to be delayed, I'll let you know. I think is a really lovely way to end that, to say, like, you are important to me. I see you. This is important. And if
Yeah.
anything is to prevent me from being there when I say I'm going to be there, you will be informed. I'm not going to let you down.
Right. So could I ask a question then? What if I did
Yes.
say in our role play, back to our role play, and what if I
Yes.
did say during a role play that it was a now issue, that it had to be resolved there and then, it was a fire burning on my desk?
Sure. Well, let's do it. Let's go through acknowledge, ask, and assure again, one more time. This time it'll be an immediate thing. Go ahead.
Okay, fantastic. I'm ready. Knock, knock, knock.
Hey, Ewan, what brings you
Hey,
by?
hey, listen, I can see you're busy. I have this problem. I really need to ask you a question about it. It's really urgent.
Oh, oh, okay. I really want to help you. What I'm working on is important and time sensitive as well. Let me ask you this. Is this a now issue or a later issue?
Well, the client is like on the phone right now, and I need to get them an answer. So it really is kind of a now
Okay,
question.
understood. I understand this is important. Let's get into it right now. Let's go.
Thank you. Oh, I can't think of a
Absolutely.
question to ask you, but thank you so much. And
Yes, of
Steve,
course. See,
well done. That was beautifully done. I mean, our role playing is just getting better and better. Next week, award winning. BAFTA was
Look
very
out.
niche. Sorry, BAFTA was a very niche award. Oscar award winning. I don't know why I said okay. Sorry.
Oh, that's amazing. It's true.
Great. I love that. That was
Yeah.
fantastic. I really liked how you
Hmm.
handled that. I really like how your assure shifted and you
Hmm.
recognized that your team member needed help, so you jumped into it and you were willing to
That's right.
pause what you were doing to support your team, which, of course, as leaders, we do have to do. But I really love that question. That ask question, you're absolutely right, is pivotal to making this
Hmm.
3A's framework work. Thank you for sharing
Hmm.
that with us.
You're welcome. My pleasure. So we'll kind of say, like, acknowledge, ask, and assure are keys to
Yeah,
protecting your time as a leader.
I absolutely couldn't agree more. And I think that protecting our time is one of the most valuable skills that we have to learn, but doing it, like you said at the beginning, in a way that is direct.
Hmm.
We don't excuse our time. We don't make excuses for being busy or for maybe just not wanting to do a task because we don't have the interest or bandwidth sometimes in our personal
Hmm.
and professional life to do it.
Hmm.
Um, but also being polite and kind and respectful about it too. And as leaders, we have to keep our teams motivated and be there to support. So making sure that we're able to do all those things in one go is so important. Thank you for sharing that. Okay.
Of course. You know what it's time for, don't you?
I do. I think it's time for our Friday Courage Challenge. Oh, no, it's not. It's time for
It's
the
time for
catchphrase.
the catchphrase. Can I get a hell yeah?
It's a hell yeah.
You summed
No,
that
I
up
love
so
it.
beautifully. It needed a hell yeah. That was amazing.
I feel like if we didn't do a hell yeah during our episodes, it just wouldn't be a
It
Spark
would
Speakeasy.
correct. Yes. Agreed.
Love it. Love it.
All
Thank you
right.
for throwing
Now
hell yeah.
throw us into that
Now I will take us into our Friday Courage Challenge. All
please.
right, then, everybody. We are about to close the speakeasy doors for the week, but before you go, here's your Friday Courage Challenge. And it's all about credibility. It's all about saying no. Say no to one thing this week. That's my challenge for
Mm-hmm.
you. Say no to one thing. Say
Mm-hmm.
no to a networking event if your social battery is low. Say no to that non-work related thing like staying up late to make allergy-free snacks for your kids' school. Goodness, do parents have to do that? Oh my goodness, I'm so glad I just had.
Yes. I know.
I want you to come out of our Friday Courage Challenge this week thinking about being a strong leader. Being a strong leader does not mean you have to do it all. You just have to do it well. And we're going to do it well by preserving our time. Thank you so much. If this conversation sparked something for you, then share it with someone who needs a seat at our speakeasy table. We'll see you back here next Friday. Same speakeasy, same sparks. Thank you, Cassandra.
Thank you, Ewan.
Fantastic,
Bye.
my friend.
You too. See you next week.
See you next week.
Mm-hmm.